actually may think I am Turkish because I'm here every 2-3 weeks. It's not the case. I'm Dutch originally, but I come here a lot. I love Turkey, and if it wasn't for the bad traffic jams, I would probably move here. So thanks all for coming and attending today's seminar. I'm going to talk about the SmartCloud for social business offerings. So Hisan has given you an overview of what cloud is, why cloud is important, how central cloud is in IBM's strategy, that IBM is investing massively in the different aspects of cloud, in infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service. I'm going to specifically talk about our social business offerings, our SaaS, our software as a service offerings for social business. And after me, Fahim will actually show you the solution live. I think that's probably even the most exciting part of the presentation today, because everyone wants to really see how it works and what it can do. I will also talk about the use cases, the scenarios, because SmartCloud for social business is an amazing solution that IBM built from the ground up. We are considered market leader, but in the end of the day, it's a set of features and functions that may work perfectly, secure, on the go, wherever you want, but they have to serve a business purpose. And what I will show you is how it fits into specific use cases and scenarios, and it may be business processes that you are specifically responsible for. Whether you work for a bank, an insurance company, or a trading company, manufacturing company, it doesn't matter. But to give you an overview in one slide, and I realize this is a busy slide, the IBM SmartCloud for social business services comprise a whole set of services. And we have a number of offerings, a number of products, as you if you may call them. And our flagship offering is called SmartCloud Engage Advanced. That's a mouthful, that's a long name, but it's a long name because it has everything. So you have basically one integrated offering that includes any collaboration need that you may have as a customer. That means you have a personal dashboard, kind of a homepage, file sharing communities, you have a news and activity stream, you have instant messaging, web meetings, email and calendaring integrated. We have, and I will talk about that, we have a set of cloud-based document editors, and you may know some of the existing document editors that are in the market and where you can online edit a document. Well, we've taken that concept and improved it. And we will show it to you live as well in the demo, and you will see how it all fits together and how actually unique it is in the market in the sense of the broadness and the wideness of the offering, as well as the fact that it is fully integrated. You don't have to switch between different screens or applications. Your files are in different applications, as some of our competitors are doing. You know, they brought a new service and then you still have your files in a different service. It's all very structured and integrated in one offering. We have also, for those customers, oh by the way, before I forget, mobile. And I will talk about mobile because that's a very important part of our strategy. So most of the capabilities, the core capabilities of our SmartCloud for social business offerings are also available on mobile devices, on an iPad, an iPhone, an Android phone, some capabilities on BlackBerry. And it basically means that wherever you are, you have access to crucial data, and I will get back to that. Hisan also already mentioned, it's available in Turkish. There is a Turkish landing page also. We will share this presentation with you. You can click on the link here. It will take you to a page in Turkish. We're explaining our offering. But obviously more important, the actual product, the actual offering is completely translated in Turkish. There may be customers though that say, well, you know, this flagship, this Christmas tree offering that you have, SmartCloud Engage Advanced, is too much. I don't need everything. So for those customers we have, let's say, broken down the offering in different pieces. So you can decide, I only want the enterprise social networking piece. I only want SmartCloud connections. I don't need the email and calendaring and I don't need some of the other the document editors, so you can go with Engage Standard. We have customers that are specifically interested in web meetings or only in email. We're having this regional telco that is using the email to collaborate with their dealers and in an external way. There's several add-ons, and I'm not going into all the details. I think docs are already mentioned. We have web meetings, a full functioning web meeting service with audio, of course, as well. So you can hear, you can record it, you can dial in using toll-free numbers, voice over IP. There's different. We have archiving for those customers that have a regulatory reason or an internal policy to archive emails or basically whatever is being done in the offering in the network. You can extend your storage as well. So Hisan already talked about some of the reasons to choose our offering, but let me summarize basically in 3 points. SmartCloud Engage, our SmartCloud for Social Business offering, is easy to use. So, as I said, you have everything in one single interface. And it sounds very trivial, but if you look at some of the point solutions that are available in the market, whether for file sharing or online email or for web meetings, they're all disparate solutions. It isn't one integrated solution in one interface. We have access to all the information, all the collaboration, all your colleagues, all your knowledge from one single dashboard. And it basically enables you as an employee to stay in touch with your colleagues, with your customers, with your partners, stay up to date, share knowledge, and leverage the collective intelligence, the collective knowledge that is spread around the organization, and in many cases beyond the team that you're working with on a daily basis. And I'll get to that in a moment in more detail. Flexibility, Hisan has already mentioned that. And that has several dimensions. That means having it as available on an Android device, on an iPhone. I mean, with one phone you don't impress anyone anymore today. So basically, you have access to your information on the different devices. But even more important, also, because some of you I know are working in the financial sector for a bank. And you may say, well, this is all great, but we're a bank, we can't do cloud. So basically all the functionality that I'm going to talk about, and also that Fahim is showing you in our cloud environment, is equally available in on-premise. So you as a customer have the full freedom, the full liberty to say, I want this functionality, but I want it on-premise. I want it in the cloud, in the public cloud, in IBM's secure cloud with a data center in Europe. Or I want it in a hybrid mode, I want it in a mixed mode. So you have basically the freedom of, and I think that is very, very important and also sets us apart to a large extent to our competitors. To give you one example, if you look at Yammer, good offering or not, I leave that in the middle, that's up to you to decide, but it's cloud-based. You have no option to run it on-premise, on-site. The data are in the cloud. You have it's open standards and toolkits, and it's built for business, and Hisan has already talked about that. So let's move to a very important component of our SmartCloud for Social Business, which is the social component. And social capabilities enable you in your organization to share knowledge, have access to experts and expertise across the organization. That can be your colleagues, it can be your business partners, that can be suppliers, it can be contractors. It can also be customers in an external way. If you're a lawyer's office and you have customers that you want to communicate with in a secure way and share documents with in a secure way, you can do that. If you are a sales and marketing department and you have an external marketing agency you work with, or an external company that is building a prototype of your new product, and you want to have a secure environment where you can share documents, where you can have a project proposal, where you run web meetings in a secure environment, there's many scenarios thinkable, and I will give you more ideas of scenarios where you can use that. What we recently have done with the IBM SmartCloud for Social Business is we have added new functionality, new capabilities to the social components. So we have dramatically, even although we were already considered the market leader in that, improved our file sharing capabilities. And as Sisan showed you in the beginning, there was just a new report 2 months ago where Forrester compared the file sharing and file sync offerings on the market, and we were clearly the leader, way ahead of basically any other player in the market. So it enables you to securely share information. You don't have, if you've been on vacation, you come back after 2 weeks, and you've been working on a project, you all know this situation. You go in your inbox, there's 500 emails, there's probably 10, 12, 15 versions of a certain document, because in your absence, everyone was changing the document and sending a new version, and then they were emailing it to people, and then they emailed it also to someone that left the company in the meantime, and then someone just made some changes last night but didn't share that. Sounds familiar? Well, online file sharing is basically addressing that. And so there's no confusion about what is the latest version, who did that. If you're using our IBM Docs solution, you can even see who made the changes in the document. You can, we'll get to that. You can also work on that together. There is some microblogging. So now microblogging, that sounds nice, but what does it mean in a business environment? A status update. You all know a status update. Who's on Facebook here? Or maybe I should ask who's not on Facebook, and we're probably faster. Turkey has a very high penetration of Facebook, I know that. So you're all familiar with status updates. Now in a business environment, you think, okay, why would I send a status update? No one cares if I went to a great restaurant or had a great time on the Bosporus last night. In a business environment, it can be very, very useful. You can share a question with a wider community. You can share a project that you're working on and send a link and include a link to where people can find information. If you're in sales and marketing, you can send a link to the new event. Or competitive intelligence, if you're working in a more inbound, let's say more internal role. So status updates are extremely useful. You can tag people. There's a homepage. So basically where you start, you get the updates of the people in your network. Now I think, okay, who's in my network? The people in your network may be the people that are in your team, that are hierarchically reporting to the same manager. But much more interesting is to collaborate and have people in your network that you're not necessarily working with. The people that are in a different department but are working with you on a project, or you consider as a leading example in your organization. If you're in a bank and you are in investment banking, and let's say you do commodities, you are in commodity trading. Now in your organization there may be experts that are frequently publishing information about this. They are posting files, they're writing a blog, they're working on a certain project. These are the people you want to follow. If they post a new document or an updated version of a document, you may want to see that. If you're working in a regulatory environment, you're responsible for regulations. There's a lot of documents going around. You may want to see the latest version. You may want to comment. If you're working in a product development or in marketing and sales, you're typically working in a multidiscipline environment. You have people from different departments working together. So the homepage can basically give you this overview of what the people in your network are doing, what are their status updates, which files they have posted, which communities they have joined, which activities, and I'll get to that. We will get to that. Have been started or edited. It can also be just comments from other people. So if Isan has posted a file and Kamer has some comments on that, he's commenting that, and then Özlem is also commenting. So you see basically the thread And rather than having to go through your inbox and putting in your emails and trying to find the comments of the people. So you go to one place, and you will find that. So this is basically a screenshot. We will also show this to you in a live environment that is probably even more exciting. So you can basically, this is an activity. And activity, for those of you who has seen activities in our social collaboration bit, okay, a few people. So activities is one of the services which comes with SmartCloud for Social Business. And activities is basically an online tool that brings together all the information and all the files and all the actions and I shouldn't say files because it could be assets. It could be files, it could be media files, it can be emails, it can be voicemails, it can be video files, it can be it can basically be everything. That is related to a certain activity, a certain task, a certain project, a certain time-limited activity in your organization. And it can be anything from launching a new product, organizing an event, meeting a deadline for new regulations. And the cool thing about activities is you can assign to-dos, you can share links and information, as I just said. There's templates, so there's templates for different kind of activities, whether it's a project plan or proposal, organizing an event. There are different templates that you can automatically use. You can also create your own template. So in your organization you have specific requirements for a template, you create your own template. And obviously you can track what people have done, so you can add people to an activity, whether they're inside or outside your organization. And you can track so if you post a file and ask for people to review that, you can see if people have done that and what they have posted. And basically all of this, the activities and the file sharing, serve one single purpose, is to streamline the communication and collaboration within your organization and with your external parties like customers and partners. Another key component of the suite is communities. And you may know communities from, let's say, the public social media forums, like you have communities on LinkedIn. Communities are basically bringing together expertise and knowledge around a certain area, around a certain subject. So within your organization you can have a sales and marketing community, you can have a product development community, you can have a regulatory affairs or regulations community, you can have a community, a competitive intelligence. Who's dealing with competition? Everyone is dealing with competition. So you create a competitive community and bring together everyone in the organization that is dealing in a way with competition. So the people that have that in their job role, but it may also be very well experts in the organization that work for the competitor and have a lot of competitive insights and are not necessarily in your team. So again, the whole idea about enterprise social networking is bringing together knowledge and expertise, not necessarily within the traditional structure, the traditional organizational structure of your organization. So we have recently enhanced our community capabilities. And they're really ideal for cross-company collaboration, as I already. So we have added things like a media gallery where you can share files. And again, you have to think of this in a business environment. A media gallery, it can be to share pictures of a prototype of a new product, pictures of an event, of an important customer or business event. It could be pictures of the best performing employees in the organization from an HR perspective. And last but not least, we also have the capability, what we call social bridging, where organizations have a cloud and an on-premise deployment to bridge those environments. So if you're interested in that, we're happy to talk about it. Now I want to make it more specific in terms of, before we're going to show you the actual solution, and I know you are all like, I want to see it, you know, Oskar, get on, you know, I want to see the solution. But I still want to talk about the actual applications, what we call the use cases. So what we see in the market, and I'm here a lot, as I said, and I see a lot of Turkish companies and a lot of Turkish organizations actually becoming social in terms of adopting these kind of technologies in their business processes. Basically for two main reasons. They want to integrate them in business process to optimize those business processes, and they also see a clear ROI. They see a clear return on investment. They can decrease their speed to market, their time to market for a new product or service. They can decrease the cost for onboarding and training of a new employee, which is significant. Turkey has a very young population. People, the young talent is sought after. You know, everyone is like trying to pull down those people, and it's important that these young employees are happy. They get onboarded and trained very fast, and in an effective way, as well as find themselves in a work environment that they see it's cool, and it's, you know, and it's aligning with the way they interact with their friends and their other colleagues outside of working time. What we've seen is that a lot of our customers, we see some patterns. So we see basically 6 use cases that are most common. Now there is other use cases that are not on this slide, but these are very common use cases. So one is finding expertise, especially if you are working for a very large organization, and I know some of the Turkish companies have 5, 10, 20,000 employees. Finding expertise then becomes a real issue, you know, because again, let's say you are an investment banker and you're investing in Southeast Asia, and you're working in the Istanbul office, but you have people doing Asian investments also in Izmir and in Ankara. You may know them because you've seen them once, but yeah, you're not really in touch with them because you work in the Istanbul office. Now, you may need someone, you may need the Ankara person, but the Ankara person is out of the office, sick, or, you know, but you have an urgent question and you need to ask. So defining expertise will easily enable you to find the people in his or her team, so the team members. You can go to the manager of that team. You can see the person. You can see all the activity of that person. You can easily find the files that he or she has shared, the activities that he or she, the communities that he or she is a member of. So, in other words, the expertise and finding the expertise is not necessarily depending on having the name and the phone number and the person available, but can be part of in the social network. Knowledge sharing and innovation, in a nutshell, is about, you know, collecting ideas. It starts with collecting ideas within the organization. So this is what we call ideation. So you can basically brainstorm in a virtual environment and invite people to share new ideas, vote for them, comment on them, select the best idea, and start implementing that. And it continues in what I earlier described in about the communities, where you basically bring together the knowledge and share it in a very innovative way. Reinventing client engagement. That's about how you communicate with your customers in an external way. So we're talking to customers, we're talking to banks, we're talking to one of the holding companies here that would like to engage closer with their external customers. That can be partners or business partners or suppliers, and be closer to them and share files, expertise and knowledge with them on an ongoing basis, rather than just phone and email. Yes, phone and email, this won't replace phone and email, it's complementary. But it significantly changes the way we communicate, and I can say that we do that in IBM. Recruiting and onboarding, and I already mentioned this very briefly. Think of a new employee. You join your company on day 1. And you say, oh, help, I'm new, I'm just out of college, you know, I'm used to use all this public social media, I know how to work with that, but I know nothing about your organization. So this new employee gets a profile. He or she can find an activity with the first 30-day things, kind of a checklist that he or she has to complete. Watch this video, read this document, certify for this regulations. Go and visit the person on the ground floor and take a picture for your badge. I mean, there's a whole checklist that can be done. An activity, the template and activity, and we actually use that in IBM. Can be used for that, to have in a very structured way a new employee follow that list. As a next step, the new employee can join the community of practice that they are working in. This can be a sales community, it can be HR, it can be whatever field that he or she is working. And this will significantly reduce the time, and with that also the cost of onboarding a new employee. And this is a very common use case that we see across our many customers around the world that are using our social software. Hisan has shown some of the customers that are using that in the cloud. There is also a lot of companies that are doing that in the cloud or on-premise or in a hybrid mode. Think of companies like Bayer, BASF, Bosch, Electrolux, Danone, Ernst & Young. I mean, all these companies are using IBM's HSBC. I mean, I can go on for many, and I'll give you in a second also a very good Turkish example. Quickly to finish up this slide, mergers and acquisitions, where two groups of people come together, whether it's through a merger, whether it's through an acquisition, you have a lot of issues that you have to deal with. From an IT perspective, you want to integrate IT systems, but from an organizational point of view, you have often two groups of people, two cultures. You have maybe overlap in roles and functions. And communities and activities, and actually the profiles, the employee directory, help significantly speed up the process of putting those groups of people together, create one common culture. You can have the board members blog. You can have the board members video blog. You know, take a video. When we had a new CEO in IBM last year, Ginny Rometty, the first thing she did, and she's not coming from our product group, and she's managing all this larger IBM, she posted a video blog. You know, it was a direct communication to all employees, and this page got an enormous amount of reach. I mean, you can imagine IBM has 450,000 employees, so there's many scenarios thinkable that you can use in a merger and acquisition scenario where social business can significantly help. And last but not least, safety. This is about physical safety. So if you're a company in manufacturing, physical trading, oil and gas, it can be, last week I visited a concrete factory, a company that makes concrete here in Turkey. Physical safety is an issue. You know, physical safety, people get accidents, they're out of work, it costs money, the reputation of the company is at stake. There's a lot of things that beyond, let's say, someone breaking his leg or worse, but there's a lot of implications. So safety, physical safety is something that is on the agenda for many companies, especially those that have physical processes. Maybe for a bank or for an insurance company, it's a big issue, but for a lot of other companies it is. And again, social business can help drive that process in terms of sharing information, making sure that everyone has followed the right education, has reviewed a certain document, make sure that all the managers are informed. But they wanted to improve their customer responsiveness and insight. So they wanted to get a better understanding of what their customers are doing, listening to customers, interacting with their customers, like a small and medium SME customers. They also want to drive the innovation in terms of collecting and managing new ideas. And also the internal collaboration. So basically, they are applying some of the use cases that I talked about they're currently, you can take pictures, that's fine. we will give you the slides, don't worry. But you can take a picture if you want. Make sure that I'm in there, that's right. They're currently deploying, they're currently installing the solution. So they're working on that. This is going to take place till the end of the year. And I guess that when we're standing here next year again, we have them with our logo and they're like an official public reference. Another example, it's not in Turkey but it's close, it's in Southeast Europe, it's in Slovenia. This is a 3,000 people insurance company, Triglav. They actually have been working with us a lot in renewing their web presences. So they have worked with us in renewing their external website, their extranet, as well as their intranet. And what they're now adding, and this is actually the only point I'm really making about this, is they're adding social capabilities as well. They start internally, so they're rolling out our connections software and basically drive innovation and internal collaboration among the 3,000 employees. And they have, they're based in Slovenia, but they're doing business in all of the Balkans, so in Serbia and Croatia, and let's say neighboring countries to Turkey. And they're a very innovative insurance company. That doesn't mean that there isn't more companies in Turkey. We're talking with my colleagues Kamer and Özlem. We're actually right now we're talking to a lot of Turkish companies, and I guess that very soon I will be able also to share with you more names. Some customers that are working with us don't want me to mention that we're working with them for competitive reasons also. But there is a real trend towards adopting these capabilities. Let me continue with the a few more capabilities, and then we will move on to the demo. I'm also aware of the time. So we have added more mobile capabilities. So one thing that is really cool and a new feature is what we call file sync. So I talked about this file sharing online. Now, when you're on the move and people have posted a new version of a document, then yes, of course you can get it in your status updates or in your news activity stream. So we call it basically the home page. But even better would be if you have an automatic file sync. So the application on your mobile device makes sure that you have the latest version of the document on the go. Now, if you're in a traffic jam on the bridge from the Asian side to here, which is not unlikely, and you need urgently to discuss a document with one of your team members, then you have it on your mobile device, the latest version. The same applies for microblogging, activity streams, and media galleries and wikis. You have them all. You can have them all on your iPad. We have we also have web meetings on the mobile device. I talked a little bit about docs. We're going to show you IBM Docs. Again, this is a very revolutionary offering to have a full web-based collaborative editors. So a word processor, spreadsheet, presentation editor, but in a browser or on a mobile device, and enabling you to, in real time, work on a document together. We're going to show you that. There is social sharing, and you can also on a mobile device review documents, and review means adding comments, like really in context, like in a document. There is offline, maybe Fahim, you can during the presentation talk about it when we go to docs. I'm aware of the time, I will share this with you. Web meetings is a very important part, and also available on a mobile device. And again, imagine, unfortunately, there was a traffic accident on the bridge. You're stuck in traffic. You have a very important customer web meeting. You're going to discuss the latest version of a proposal or an important project, and you want to attend the web meeting. Now, okay, maybe you have a laptop and then you have a 3G connection. It's very complicated. Much easier. You have it on your iPad or on your tablet, and you open it, and you have the whole web meeting basically on your mobile device. That includes the audio conferencing services, which, as I said already, are higher quality than what our competitors are offering. They're highly redundant. In terms of security, they're meeting the highest IBM standards. So I'm not going through all the bullets, but you can read them, and again, you will see in. And you don't have to reserve it. So if you're a customer, if you're an IBM SmartCloud for Social Business customer, and you have web meetings in your offerings, in your services, then you click and you have a web meeting whenever you want, and it's fully integrated with the fixed line phone system, as well as as voice over IP. Local dial-in numbers, including for Turkey, of course. So that's. What I haven't talked about is an important offering, and I want to spend a minute on that as well, is email. And you think, who needs email nowadays? Well, everyone needs email, unfortunately, or not fortunately, or fortunately. But it remains, while social collaboration is important and is a fast-growing area for us, and because our customers are clearly interested in it, email remains a key way of communicating. And we have recently improved our email offering as well, in terms of addressing and type ahead, searching email, the right email, the easier way of scheduling and faster scheduling of a calendar entry, as well as on the more administrative side, the governance and control. What is important to know is that you can easily move, and Nissan is briefly going to talk about that. I'm sure you all have email right now, so there is a system in your organization, and whether that is a Microsoft or an IBM environment, we provide an easy and affordable way to migrate. So, I'm going through this. This is the interface again. We can. It's a rich mail environment. I think that is actually the key message here. It's not just a simple email environment like you also see on the market, but it's rich in terms of functionality. It is very. I don't know if there's any notes users here in the room. It very much resembles our notes interface, so there's kind of a seamless interface. Mobile. Notes Traveler, this has been around for a long time, but it is key because all our customers want to have mobile access to their email, their calendaring, to the to-dos, web meetings, social capabilities. It's all available on a